Hello and welcome to Fandom Beat! This is Dear Every Pony, an in-depth analysis of the most recent episode of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic, and today we're taking a look at Inspiration Manifestation. When I first saw and recapped this episode, I truly wasn't sure how I felt about it. It wasn't fair to the episode though, because all of my notes are essentially nitpicks. Overall, I thought it was a damn good episode, and the only reason I felt conflicted was because Spike is the main character. I mean, like, what's that about? Now, well, once I put my prejudices aside, I was able to enjoy the episode much more thoroughly. In the opening of the episode, we see Rarity's parents standing with Sweetie Belle, and it is revealed to us that Rarity's dad is indeed a unicorn. Boo! And millions of headcanons were destroyed that day. Man, it's just such a shame, because if Rarity's father was an Earth pony, like we all speculated, it would have added another layer of depth to an already well-rounded character, but that's all it is, a shame. My biggest gripe with the episode is Rarity's apparent investment in a puppet theater. I really don't understand why she cares about making one in the first place and why she is absolutely devastated when the puppeteer deems it awful. How does she even know how to construct a puppet theater? Maybe if she was just a decorator or designer, but building the whole thing? Does she even have power tools? In any case, nothing we know about Rarity says she should care about making a puppet theater, or even the Foal and Philly Fair. What is this stupid fair exactly? Why should she, and more importantly, we care? It seems like a state fair. Whatever it is, it has absolutely nothing to do with fashion or high society, and the whole thing seems much more up Pinkie Pie's alley rather than Rarity's. While we're talking about Rarity though, she keeps telling Spike that he is a great friend. Lots of emphasis on the friend. But is Spike truly in the friend zone? When you think about their age difference, it really doesn't seem like he could be. How could Rarity think of a child as her true friend or equal? I know plenty of children younger than me that I truly care for, but I don't think of them as friends. I think of them as younger siblings or cousins, if anything. But then Spike is a rather special case. He's just as mature and functional as any of her other friends. The only difference as far as their friendship goes is that he's got a crush on her. But if Rarity does actually think of him as an equal and is aware of his feelings, instead of stringing him along, she should address him and let him know that they can't be, because that'd be creepy. But speaking of Spike, it's so fun to see Spike treated with dignity. This is the Spike from Lesson 0. Hell, this is the Spike from Equestria Girls. I believe we have dear writer Megan McCarthy to thank for this glorious return. Thank you, Megan. Both of the main voice talents in this episode are amazing. Kathy Westluck does an amazing job as Spike, as always. There are several lines of his that could have been easily delivered in a hokey way, but she always hits a nice balance of cheesy and real. But Tabitha St. Germain really knocks it out of the park this time around. She does a consistently astounding job, but this episode, man, I get chills every time I hear her little monologue near the end. It's just incredible how she seems to find a new set of vocal cords for every character that she does. Man, this episode was good. Thank you so much for watching Dear Every Pony on Fandom Beat. Remember that you can watch My Little Pony every Saturday on the Hub Network. Remember that there's going to be more than just ponies on this channel, so be sure to subscribe to see what's coming up. I love you all, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah.